Knock knock.
Boy.
Knock knock.
Oh boy. All right, turning that down for a bit.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Apple Oxide.
Oh, don't. Oh, don't.
You have to say Apple Oxide who?
You just said it. Whoa.
Or a blood orange, you glad I didn't use an apple oxide again?
You know, we had a lot of creativity back when, before
Yeah.
God. That's the one thing that I will say that was really a thing with Gaim and everything afterwards. There's a lot of recolors, and recolors aren't bad necessarily,
But some are more shameless than others.
Yeah, it's like, oh, hey, did you see this? I'm like, yeah. Did you know there's another one? It's like, and it comes in 7 different colors, but it's like, but isn't that just like, isn't that just the thing I have, but it's just a different color, like same sound, same this, same that. It's just, yeah, but 7 different colors. I'm like,
I'd say it again. I'm surprised they didn't make a green apple oxide or a green grape oxide. They very well could have.
I think, well, you know what? It pretty much boils down. I mean, it's one thing that like a company would, and I think they were gonna do it. It's just that, remember, we now have the internet, and the internet around this time was a lot more prevalent. Twitter was a thing, and social media, getting to companies and people. Again, toy reviews were being very, very big at this time. I mean, I remember going online and seeing for Gokaiger, for Go Buster, for Wizard, for Day, for like people were just reviewing everything, And again, I remember seeing a review for Gaim after it was all said and done, and the shamelessness that how many people were just saying, it's this, but it's just in a different color. Like, I'm pretty sure before, because you did say the Gaim Gaidens came afterwards when Drive was a thing. It's kind of like, okay, guys, pull it back. Pull it back. Pull it back. Someone upstairs was like, no.
So we're here to discuss Gaim Gaiden 2, Duke and Knuckle. And as we said last time, the first certain number of copies of Gaim Gaiden 1 let you vote on which 2 riders would be in Gaim Gaiden 2. And of course, Duke and Knuckle got the most number of votes. So here we are. And in the same vein, the first certain number of copies of Duke and Knuckle would have a QR code to vote on what will be happening for Gaim Gaiden 3. Incidentally, I had one of the first certain number of copies, but unfortunately the QR code is Japan only, so unfortunately I could not vote.
Codes. What is this technology?
Though to be fair, one of the 2 choices I would have voted for did end up having a Gaim Gaiden. Many years later. And only as a 30-minute TTFC special combined.
There probably could have been ways to bypass it, but I mean, it's like
2015. It was 2015 at the time.
But again, like back then, QR codes and I mean, it isn't like today. It isn't like today. The technology was brand new back then. I'm pretty sure like you could have hacked or could have done something to get involved, even though if they were region locked. But again, whenever you say region locked, there is a way to break the block.
Yeah, I know that PlayStation 5, you're allowed to change the region of your PlayStation, but the problem is you're only allowed to do it a maximum of 5 times, and whatever lands on the 5th time, it becomes a permanent region of the PlayStation. So it's kind of like when you make a deal with the devil. It's like technically I can't take your soul until you use up your third wish.
Well, here's the thing. It's like, and you got to use the currency of the country. So,
Mhm. I mean, you can use you can hook up your own credit cards to the
let me
account, but
pay right now. But it's like, yeah, you know what? Just like in Japan, just like being a tourist or going, I wouldn't do that just because, like you said, it'd be like, yeah, if I forget how many times I've done it, I'm screwed.
yeah.
And also, it's like, well, you know what? I can't keep it region locked here forever, and I got 5 times is all you have. So make sure these 5 times or these 4 times count.
Yeah, yeah, and what's funny is the only reason I found out about what's it called about the 5 change limit for PlayStation 5 is because I was just curious to see if PlayStation 5 could play international Blu-rays. So I popped in one of my Gaim Gaiden Blu-rays into the PlayStation, and that's how I found out about it.
I thought, well, region wise, yes, but I'm like, in terms of most, since PS4, or even the Nintendo, they haven't been region locked for a very long time now.
Yeah, like regular Blu-ray players, they're not region locked, but apparently PlayStation is region locked when it comes to Blu-rays. Not so much actually, in terms of games, yeah, you kind of have to switch regions in order to purchase the game, but you could return to your home region while playing the game. So, like, for example, when you play Climax Hero 6 for PlayStation 4, you it's like you have to change your region to purchase the game, but when you already have downloaded it, it's like it doesn't really matter. I'm so glad that Climax Hero 7 is regionless because it's on the Switch. Just a shame that the game is not that great.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they also have regionless A Memory of Heroes for PlayStation 4 and the Switch. But the game has PlayStation 2 quality of gameplay, so good story, just bad gameplay.
Ain't it always the way?
Yeah. And yes, much like Gaim Gaiden 1, we have tie-in merch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so let's get into it. So, unlike last time where there would only be 2 items, which was you get the what was her name again? Toka's rider form, Induin or
Ringo.
but anyway, so you'd get her faceplate and the Taboo Lock Seed if you get the Blu-ray of Gaim Gaiden 1. And Proto 10 and with the alternate Zangetsu faceplate is a separate item that you could purchase separately. So it's 2 items in total. Here we got Lock Seed 99 with a Duke faceplate that comes with the Blu-ray. If you get the the Messiah Sonic Arrow, yes, it's the same as the original red one, just black. I have both red and black because I wanted to get the red one just to have the Lemon Energy Lock Seed. This ends up coming with the Messiah Lock Seed. And which is funny because at the end of the day, you're still gonna need one of these and Bujin Gaim if you wanna, become Messiah, which is perfect because the third item is the Energy Lock Seed 6 Maron Energy, which is a chestnut, which comes with a Genesis core. So, if you don't already have a Genesis drive or just don't want to remove the one you already have, now you can get a second one. Yeah, which comes with the Marin energy. So yeah, I don't even know if this one came with my Genesis driver or if it came with my energy lock seed, because I probably switched them out a couple of times. But yeah, those are your 3 items, and yeah, you kind of have to have the deluxe Kirumi energy from a previous existing purchase, which they did not bring back into markets. Good luck if you don't already have it. Same thing with Blood Orange. Good luck getting Blood Orange.
The Japanese are just sadists when it comes down to items and special editions, aren't they?
Hence the theme song. Don't say no, just buy more. Don't say no, just buy more. You have got a credit card, and we have a lot of merchandise. You know you are a completionist, so you gotta spend all your money on us. Don't say no, just buy more.
What was it? I saw this review on Gov for their the little toy minion things.
Yeah.
And the person who reviewed it, I'm not going to say who, but I'm pretty sure our fans and people would know who it is when I say it. Like, he enjoyed the concept, but he was just like, this is like such a waste. This is like, they're literally repeats. There's nothing special about them. They're cute. That's all they're going for them. But he literally was like, he has an entire playlist of him tracking down every single lock seed that has ever been made.
Wow.
And I'm like, and again, I don't say it, don't put it in the comments. You probably know who it is, but it's like, how could you say that about one gimmick that so far is kind of easily obtainable right now compared to back in the day at this point? Because I remember just going on eBay or going on just any website and just like they were selling for way more than what they were worth.
Oh yeah. No, it was really hard for me to get whatever lock seeds I do have, and like a lot of my collection did start off with getting the candy toy versions.
Yeah, but I'm just like, but he got also the candy toy versions. So I'm like, wait. You didn't just get the DX versions. You got the candy toys. But you're ragging on Gov for that same reason.
I mean, technically they have different soundboards inside each of them, but as far as molding goes, I have to agree with you. It's like they're just especially these 3, you know, like these are literally repaints.
Let us be honest, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, Gaim kind of had the whole thing of just like, you know, there are many other fruits out there. I don't know why
it's like to the credit of Proto 10, like they didn't just recolor the mango lock seed. They at least added the watermelon texture to it. Yeah, like if you look carefully, like yes, visually you could tell this was originally the mold of a mango lock seed, but look, you could actually see they added new texture to it.
But they didn't just like slap a sticker on it, like you know. But again, I kind of feel like, wait, why would someone rag? Why would you rag on one but then praise another for the exact same thing?
Yeah. This is literally Kiwi just painted yellow.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't know, thought that'd be fun to bring up, but let's get down to business because apparently we're focusing on the Duke, and I'm not talking about the fat guy from Resident Evil: The Village,
or the other fat guy from Big Lebowski.
Oh yeah,
that's right. And we're not talking about Channing Tatum in that one movie with Brandon McLaren.
Oh yeah, All
Like they
big,
could have just called him Orsino, just like in the play, but no, like they call him Duke.
all big men are now gonna be called the Duke for me. All big men. That's like why? Because man, you give respect to the Duke.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much Ryoma, but I've noticed.
Yeah. Enjoy this role while it lasts in this movie, because not too long after this special came out, the actor playing Ryoma was charged with some stuff and was dropped from his agency. Mm-mm. Don't you hate it when a fictional villain becomes a real life villain?
Was this something to do with people, or was this having to do with money?
It's so it's closer to Sun Vulcan than it is to Super One. Yeah, that's yeah. I mean, maybe it was. I mean, like I don't remember the exact details. Maybe it wasn't as bad as the actual Sun Vulcan actor's actions, but it's definitely somewhere in that domain. Yeah, they got arrested in 2018 and they admitted to it. They use alcoholic intoxication as the excuse for their actions.
He admitted it.
Yes.
But wait a minute, wouldn't that mean they got the comments under arrest or under distress, whatever the term may be? It's like it wasn't done legally, but then again, it's Japan. Their laws are different than ours. The cops couldn't do that here. They couldn't get you drunk or to get
no. I'm saying that while he was intoxicated, he committed those actions.
Oh,
but
no.
But
I mean, not an excuse, but I mean, I don't know. Well, if you want to know more, ladies and gentlemen, you can look it up later. Right now, we got to talk about the professor.
And apparently, it wasn't his first time either.
Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he would later come back with a different agency. So,
so there could be hope for Ikari Guy to come back.
Maybe. I don't even know what. I don't know. Wasn't Ikari Guy's thing money related though?
Yeah, but still, I mean, it's like any type of thing of a public figure is still disgraceful. And how the fans were talking about it, it's like, okay, how the heck would you guys say that, but you would let Dr. Ryoma come back? You like not to get rid of the character or just like, whatever. No, you literally bring him back after what he did, but you won't let Ikari Guy come back in those same.
No. He didn't come back for Kamen Rider, but like there's like a different talent agency that took him in. After
that would get. I mean, they literally said that he's blacklisted in acting. But apparently not. So, and
yeah, I mean, he should be blacklisted. I mean, look at Kevin Spacey.
Well, yeah, he should be, but I mean, people are weird. You let one do it, but you don't let the other one do it. So
yeah,
that makes no sense to me. But yeah, okay, let's get down to it. We'll look into this all later on True Crimes, the Toko edition.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, this one takes place right before the Great Sengoku War from the Winter film.
Now we're going way back.
Yeah, further back than the first Gaim Gaiden, and unlike the first Gaim Gaiden, where the two segments are generally back to back, these two are further apart because the Duke segment is before the Winter film during Gaim, while Knuckle takes place well after the winter film of Drive.
I'm not gonna lie. I legitimately, when I was watching Jackie's story, I seriously believe this was even way before the show even started because of how they're the flashbacks and
the flashbacks took place well before the show started.
Yeah,
like I think you might have even seen Yuya like without the gray hair.
Yeah, I was just like, wait a minute, but I was like, oh, okay, because I was like, wait a minute, you guys never had any Sengoku drivers back then because of a certain recolor that we're gonna get to. But again, it's like, well, all right, so yeah, we're going back to like between 10 and 20 at this point. We are really going back in terms of like
this one takes place right after episode 11.
Yeah, we're going back. So
yeah. And it's not even just before episode 12. We're talking like between 11 and the Sengoku movie.
Yeah. So we get to see the formation of the Power Rangers before they became the Power Rangers, apparently. And they got brought in by what their version of Billy, the warped version of him, is.
Yeah, now, so basically, if you thought the first Gaim Gaiden with Zangetsu didn't do enough Yu-Gi-Oh references, here we see more of the big five with Sid being Gansley and Yoko being freaking Elector and Ryoma being a Nesbit.
You know, I didn't think that, like, you know how we started off like saying how this show, like, so many Yu-Gi-Oh characters could be brought up and seen in this show, you know? I actually found out recently, because again, someone has had to bring it up. I don't watch much new stuff nowadays. I haven't really been caught up with a lot of new stuff, but they were talking about a certain actor who was in the show Jujutsu Kaisen, the guy who wears the glasses and he's blonde, and I could have sworn I heard his voice before. And it is Sato Kaiba's voice actor. I find out that later on, he is who was the name of the Green Overlord? I forget her name.
Oh yeah, a Regu.
Regu was voiced by Seto Kaiba. That was Seto Kaiba voicing that character. Because I remember when they were stabbing the king over and over, I was like, that sounds familiar. Why does that voice sound so familiar? I know it's a female, but it's a male actor portraying the female. And I was like, it's Kenji. It's literally Kenji. It is Seto Kaiba. We have Seto Kaiba in Gaim as a bad guy.
Yeah,
not a dragon, but I mean close to it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there is a dragon serving under Kaiba.
Yeah, so
and a turtle and peacock.
The Yu-Gi-Oh lore, the Yu-Gi-Oh reference. You know, we got Takatora and Kaito being literally Seto Kaiba in terms of money, lifestyle, but attitude. We have Michi as Mokuba. We
Season
have
0 Mokuba.
Season 0 Mokuba. We have Kota being Yugi. You know, not a Tem. I mean, he later on becomes a Tem. And then
you got Jonochi as Jonochi.
As Jonochi, you know?
Yeah.
Jack could be Honda. Could be seen as Honda.
Yeah, Zach could be Honda. Oron Pierre Alfonso could be Duke Devlin. Because he's bringing sexy back.
Yeah. Duke Devlin definitely could. Yeah, that's definitely. I mean, I know. I was gonna say Pegasus, but no. I don't think anyone was Pegasus level.
He's got
Well, no,
Pegasus
no,
energy,
no.
but
Ryoma had Pegasus level energy.
yeah.
Ryoma,
Oh, even his eyes covered.
yeah, kind of had that
Greetings,
whole.
Kota boy. It
But
is
again,
I, Ryoma Sengoku, and I would like to play a
we're
little
calling
game
him
with
by
you.
his Japanese name. We're not calling him by the Americanized name.
Yeah,
The Japanese name is Pegasus J. Crawford, not Maximilian.
yeah.
So, yeah, the Yu-Gi-Oh references keep on coming with this show. So
Yeah.
it goes bonkers. That I'm like, wow. Not only did we have characters that reminded us of Yu-Gi-Oh characters, but also several voice actors from the original series were actually voicing the monsters and the overlords in this show.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't know this. I didn't know this going in, so it's not like I planned it.
Nope. Nope. It just layers on. Like
It just,
when we watched Fives and we just kept adding to the whole Friends thing.
yeah, it kept going, and it landed. I mean, it's not a shocker that voice actors also voice in live action shows as the drivers, as the monsters, as some type of thing. It's like, look at. I mean,
And also think about this. Boom Boom Dario is voiced by Ash Ketchum, and he's being chased by three Hashirians that are literally Jesse, James, and Meowth.
and apparently Michael Jackson.
Yeah, their final boss is Michael Jackson.
He didn't die. He just moved to Japan along with Elvis.
Yeah. So basically, the movie starts off with just Takatora telling Ryoma, "Listen, I need you to make as many drivers as possible because we need to save humanity. We must save my species. The infants are coming. Remember to ride.
I'm like, and that was the thing. I'm like, knowing Ryoma and how brilliant he is, he could have made more Sengoku drivers. I know, I kind of have a feeling he could have made more, but he just chose to take it slow and steady because it's like, well,
it's like apparently Ryoma and Takatora used to be best friends, and Takatora like you wanted Takatora to become a god or something along those lines. It's like, you acknowledge my research. Basically it's like that opening scene from, well, not opening scene, but like near opening scene of Batman Forever, where Edward Nygma was an employee at Wayne Industries. It's like I want you to acknowledge my work. I do acknowledge your work, but there are issues with your work.
Your work is manipulating and warping people's minds.
Yeah. Speaking of manipulating and warping people's minds. Wait, hold on.
It's one thing I always ask about these secret organizations in these shows, how just relaxed security is.
Yeah.
I mean, the movie is where like Yoko, this random dude just walks on into restricted, like high level clearance level areas just by a door, not by security, because he just walks and there's nothing. And she's kind of suspicious of like, who is this guy? What's going on? And
Ryoma used to have a bowl cut.
Yeah, Ryoma had a bowl cut before, and he still had the little streak in his hair with the bowl cut. So he was rocking the Three Stooges look before, only for Yoko to save him. But I was like, wait a minute, is this guy going to like? Is this guy really going to kill him? And like, does he have a bomb? He has a lock seed that just is a bomb. But wait a minute, Ryoma created the lock seeds and the Sengoku driver. What the fuck is going on? Who are you telling me that there's another person that has this technology? And why is it going with the Ryoma?
And this is an interesting concept for us to explore in the TV show.
Again, it's like I said with the Gaim Gaiden last week. Why? Again, you're giving us backstories to these characters, which could have been very prevalent information for us to know. And again, like you said, the Gaim Gaidens came after, like it was already done. So it's kind of like, bro, I could have liked Takatora even more. I could have liked like Baron even more than I do. Like, why didn't you put this into the damn story?
Because the authors haven't thought of it yet.
I'm like, oh my god. Because again, now we're like, wait a minute, you're telling me that Ryoma was actually Ryoma was that guy, like that kid that everyone picked on. Oh, you mean the weirdo, the freak, the smart kid who, if anybody is like, if you're smart in the head, you're like, no, I want this guy on my team. For some reason, I want this kid. I want to be on this guy's good list.
Yeah.
Is it not? Like, seriously? I'm like, I mean, I was that guy. I was like, you know what? This kid is talking about this. You know what? I think it's smart to have him on our side. Why? He might come in handy.
Mm-hmm.
And they do. But no, everyone was ragged on Ryoma, made fun of him, called him a creep, called him a weirdo. And yes, I'm not saying that what he does or is doing is ethical. It's not. What scientist in a Kamen Rider series is ever not trying to play God?
Dr. Midori Kawa?
I mean, someone of
I
a
mean, technically, he was held at gunpoint, but
I mean, basically, of their own free will, like basically, like of their own free will. Not, there's some that are actually like that trying to help, but I mean, they're not really the ones that like, oh wait. So you made this, which is a weapon to fight the monster or defeat it, but this guy actually can create monsters or create interdimensional portals that go into another universe that is of a fauna that is taking over the world.
I'm still trying to think of at least one scientist in Kamen Rider that's
actually. Think about it. I mean, if Ryoma was actually a good guy, he would have made 1 billion or some odd billion Sengoku drivers.
Yeah, it's like from All Star Superman. It's like, no, I could have saved everyone. I just needed more time. How could you? Lex, if it really mattered to you, you would have saved everyone a long time ago.
Yeah, you would have done it a lot. You have the resources, you have the money, you know how to do it. To Ryoma and to anyone else, it's not their top priority. Oh, I'll make as many as I can. You can do it.
All Superman has ever been is just an excuse for Lex to scapegoat. Just an excuse. He's just an excuse. It's like
an excuse because again, you want to save you and Takatora and the people that matter. You know?
You mean to tell me that radioactive space rock that I've been holding it next to my chest for decades is somehow giving me cancer? Superman, this is all your fault. That's an actual line.
Yeah, I know.
It's an actual line.
I know. And the whole thing when he melded with Brainiac and all like that's his fault. I'm like, no, it's not. But again, oh, by the way, Sid's in this movie too.
Yeah. Sid and Yoko are both in this movie.
Sid and Yoko are here because now we also get backstories for them.
Yeah, briefly. So we need more of these to figure out what's going on because there's a bunch of people with these lock seeds. And if there's one thing Ryoma can't stand is this is a lock seed that I did not invent. That is wrong, in my opinion. And of course, it's like Yoko does like infiltration, corporate espionage type of stuff. It's like this takes me way back. And for the first time, we see something Yoko doing that we've never seen her do before. Wear pants.
She can rock a pair of pants, I can tell you that much.
Yeah. And while Sid does stuff on the street level because he used to be a petty crook. Hair.
Yeah, that's it. He was just. I mean, let us assemble the greatest minds there is. No, that'd be too much for Ryoma. We're gonna get a spy and a hitman, in this case, a woman, and just the street smart drug dealer who apparently is just like let's get them together along with the corporate businessman and let us form our version of the Power Rangers. Because, yeah, that's just the smartest thing to do. And, well, that's pretty much all you need to know about Yoko and Sid. Is that
they bring like a huge bag full of the lock seeds, which is a pomegranate theme. Which, by the way, if not for the color, if not for the severe monochromation, I would have actually really liked this because one of my favorite Greek gods is actually my most favorite Greek god is Hades, and he's very well known for having a pomegranate garden, and I myself have a pomegranate garden, so it's perfect.
Yeah, you're only a real goth if you eat pomegranates.
Yeah, and so I was happy that they released a pomegranate lock seed. I just wish that just a little bit more color to it instead of just being a monochromatic.
No burgundy highlights, nothing. It's just a solid red, and it's literally the watermelon all
repainted.
Over
Lockseed Messiah. Very pompous indeed. And so we are introduced. So we go to a warehouse with just Ryoma and Takatora. And they had an amazing combi. It's like, so yes, it's time to do the thing. Yep, it is a night themed faceplate, just like what's his name, Baron and Grid on. So here we go.
Lemon. Oh, that's right. They didn't have the Genesis drivers just yet.
Yeah, they weren't invented yet.
They weren't invented yet. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. Because he even said, because he was working on them at this time, and they didn't have them on. So you could have, so you became Duke right off the bat. You were always Duke.
Yeah, and yes, his weapon is a rapier. And in case you're wondering, well, like, how does he have a Genesis driver? Weren't there supposed to be only 7 of them? Yes, but the thing is, this is a prototype Genesis driver. It's a piece of junk compared to the final product, which there's only 7 of.
And compared, out of those 7, it's like, well.
That's the thing you're going to notice a lot in these first 2 Gaim Gaiden movies is we find a lot of lock seeds that like, they were in the middle of the series. Why weren't they originally there? It's like, because they were all prototypes that Ryoma discarded because they were faulty. But for some convenient reason, we're bringing them back.
Well, it's always like, it's like certain scientists, it's like, what was the reason why Dr. Vegapunk said that the dragon fruit that he left at Punk Hazard was a failure? To me and to everyone else, it was a perfect recreation. Except we all know why. Or if you don't know, it's because it's pink. Yeah. The color, everything was down. They were like, no, this is perfect. It's like, no, it's not. It's not right. What do you mean it's not right? The color. What about the color? It's not the right color. Mm-hmm. That's your nitpick. It's like, but it works. Get the hammer and Gallagher that shit. It's a failure.
Yeah, I find it interesting that there's only one of every kind of devil fruit. Because it's like, I don't know, because like I am trying to understand what would happen if someone did try to recreate a second marrow fruit, for example, or second gum fruit, or like, but it is crazy to find out that like in order to like reincarnate a previously eaten fruit whose eater has already died, it's like you have to spray some kind of gas on a regular apple and just morphs into the fruit.
No, it just happens. The thing is that when the person dies, any fruit that is close to the vicinity is like whatever it could be. could be anything. It automatically warps into what it was. So if you just had a random apple in your bag and you were close to the person that died and you didn't know about it till later on, it's like, how did I get this in my bag? It's like, yeah, that's how it happens, because that's just. But apparently there is a condition to contain it. That's why. That's why when they put a cloth over Old Man Whitebeard, it's like, wait, what? Or so is the theory. We're not sure yet.
Yeah, I was like trying to understand, how did Blackbeard get Edward Newgate's powers?
Well, that's pretty much. They supposedly say that it can't. It's contained because, again, like I said, if you have something close by, that's what gets it. But I mean, is that true? I mean, is it? I don't know. We don't know yet.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, it's like because previously, like I think it was in CP9, they mentioned that a person can only eat one devil fruit.
As they say, yeah, only.
Yeah.
They've said only one, but the thing is with Teach, and I want to say maybe a few other people, I'm not sure. They're very special. Normal people, probably. But again, it's like saying, I want to be the fastest man alive, but also the strongest man alive. That's like buffing stats on an RPG player once you max out, that's it. You can't go and you can't have 100% strength and 100% speed. That's not possible.
Nope.
Not possible. You'd burn out. So your body wouldn't be able to take it. Again, the human body can take so much. Look at Gaim. Look at all the overlords and invises that happen when they try to surpass like their limitations, you know?
Yeah, so for some reason, the actual culprit behind all of these mass suicides had a blood orange lock. See, I don't know how this happened.
I'm like, wait, what is that? What I think it is? And it's like, yeah, it is.
Yes. So instead of just having a regular faceplate, for some reason, it has a Genesis core. And here's another question: how did he get his own Genesis core? Ryoma didn't even make a Genesis driver yet. But
so apparently the bad guy is a ghost. Or it's one of Ryoma's failed. It's one of Ryoma's supposed failed accomplishments that he had a part of, involving a former employee of Yggdrasil. This ghost, or I guess you could just say it's an invisible man, technically.
Yeah. So originally he was supposed to be one of his underlings, researchers, but of course he was the one of the first people experimented on with the to be a Genesis rider, but somehow caused him to basically explode and become a ghost. And I love how like when he's confronted, he's like, "You're third rate." I'm like, why does this sound familiar? And then Ryoma later, like, he's like, you know what? I'm done with this. I know that like Takatora is repeatedly disappointing me more and more. And I don't even completely understand why he's a disappointment to you. It's like, oh, he wants to be a hero instead of a god. Like, I don't get it. And so like he finally finishes making one of the 4 Genesis drivers, and he takes the lemon lock seed naturally, and he takes it to Kamen Rider, freaking Messiah or whatever his name is. Like, honestly, I don't really care about this guy enough to like learn his in order to learn his rider name. You know why? Because he's a third-rate rider with a 4th-rate belt.
I mean,
and that is an actual line used in the movie.
Yeah, it really is. Again, Yu-Gi-Oh references up the ass with this show. No joke. The thing is also is that, like, okay, so you take You take the pomegranate, you take the blood orange, and you literally become Denno.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me he did not look like Denno. Like the faceplate, the look, and I'm like, you know what? The look and style, I'm liking the armor by its style, but this also gave off massive Evolt's evil brother that we never speak of ever again.
Mhm.
Like just
Yeah.
we don't really know what we're doing or what we need to do for this stuff. We need a villain. Take one of the armors and just paint it red. Like different shades of red, different hues of red. No. Just paint it red. And we're gonna call it a bad guy.
Yeah, and like, in an attempt to be creative, they just took the shoulder armor of orange on one side and an apple on the other side. We'll take freaking what's his name's Mars's helmet, paint it all red, and then just add bandages around his mouth.
3 times Mars.
Kamen Rider Saber. That's
yeah. Mars has made 3 appearances. Movie, series, and now special. He's hit the Trinity. He really has. Oh, man. Yeah, and again, it's like, why on earth is this guy coming after Ryoma? Well, why else would he do it? For revenge.
Mm-hmm.
Like, again, Ryoma, I mean, I don't want to say that Ryoma actually intentionally meant this to happen, but this is Ryoma we're talking about here. Like, Ryoma, to me, gave off a lot of, like, Sheldon Cooper vibes. Like, I'm never wrong. I'm always right. That annoying level of, like, this guy is so, like, it's literally a child's mentality. That brilliant mind. Just imagine the greatness that he could do if he didn't have the mind of a fucking 5-year-old,
Yeah.
And that's kind of the thing. I'm like, you know what? I don't think Ryoma meant for this to happen, but at the same time, he's not going to say, like, oh my God, it's my fault. We have to get him back. No, let's just move on. We got to get the data. We got to do, that whole Sheldon Cooper level of smug. Bless you, Jim Parsons, for your amazing acting for that character, because I really wanted to punch him in the face. Same thing with the actor here that did Ryoma. Like, you guys got it down to that. This, again, doesn't people, feelings, emotions, relationships, anything of basic human interactions, anatomies, or anything does not apply to this character. It's all about the numbers, the research, and the outcome to make them just be, like, amazing and great.
Yeah. Well, apparently Saber comes back later in the Gaim novel where like his Jimba, like, Genesis core uses the other apple lock seeds, like Golden and Darkness. But it's like, at this point, I don't really care.
No one cares anymore. We're tired of these one-shot riders just showing up.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, him and Takatora team up and fight in what we think is, like, the end-all be-all about. No, it's not. Ryoma has to go back and fight him again. But he's kind of, again, like you said, he was disappointed in Takatora because he was like, you could be a god, but you choose to be a hero. What the fuck? I'm like, well, I mean, is that anything? Did you think anything less of the good doctor, him saying that? That seems perfectly in character to what he is, Because, again, it's the same thing with Yoko. That's why Yoko kind of followed Takatora and was with Sid and everyone else, but then she met Kaito, and that was like, okay, no. I am dealing with just men, but I need a god, and that is not these guys. It's this kid over here, which technically she was right.
Yeah.
But Ryoma transforms one last time to become the Duke, and he finishes off.
Yeah, with the Sengoku driver.
Yeah.
It's like, my Sonic arrow's better than your Sonic arrow.
Finishes them off. That's it. It's done. It's over. just this whole like I'm walking away like a badass, which I'm like, dude, no one thinks you're a badass, Ryoma.
Mm-hmm.
No one thinks you're a badass, you know.
Yeah.
Stop.
But he's trying to emulate being a badass by walking in the street at night with the other three guys.
It is if you imagine again the dorky kid, like like a Steve Urkel or a Sheldon Cooper level of that, walking and trying to act tough. To me, I kind of chuckled because I was like, this is Billy Cranston season 1 acting like if he were Jason. No. You're not Zeo, Billy Cranston. No, you're not Zeo.
He's like, it's like you see the differences while Takator disappoints me and he's an obstacle to me now. Again, no explanation for why. Like at least I acknowledge him, but you're a third-rate writer with a fourth-rate Lockseed.
Yeah. And then apparently before the special ends, we see this invisible man, which don't even bother knowing his name because it's not really important, handing a banana Lockseed to this guy that looks like he came from like an early 2000s Japanese metal hair band.
Yeah, I was gonna say he looks like a Temu version of Kenny from Tokyo Revengers.
I've not seen Tokyo Revengers, but I'm like, is this kid a fucking boncho? Is he like one of those street thug kids?
You know what's another name you could use for him? He's Diet Kengo.
Oh god. Diet Kengo Zero.
Yeah. He's got only 1 calorie of the Kengo.
He's trying to emulate the original diet, even though this is the original formula for diet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Time to do the main event.
Now it's time to I know, and we've said it before and we've said it again. It has been a rule that we have done, but you know what? We have to. We must talk about Fight Club. Number 1 rule of Fight Club: we don't talk about
Fight Club. Rule number 2 of Fight Club: don't talk about Fight Club.
But we must. And rule number 3: you don't talk about Fight Club, but we must. Because that's literally what this is. Or it could be from a scene from that Saint Seiya movie that came out like a couple years ago, but this is way before this even happened. Because apparently this happens right after the whole incident with the bomb with Jack. Because Kaito's gone.
So this takes place a year. So this takes place a year after the events of the Gaim versus Drive team up. So all you need to know about that team up for this half of Gaim Gaiden 2 is Michi tried to take Koda's place as the protector of Zawami. That's it. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know.
Right. Again, I would imagine
he actually tried. Like he wasn't like.
But
no. He's actually putting effort this time.
But again, we're not all the Sengoku drivers destroyed along with Michi's.
Yeah.
And actually transform into Ryugen.
You see, Kamen Rider Drive versus Gaim happened.
It's we're trying to find logic in a tokusatsu show. Don't bother.
Because again, this takes place after the Winter Team Up film.
Yeah. So they apparently said they can no longer make them, but apparently they can. So because even so, this takes place a year after Gaim, exactly, and yet Jack can transform. Jack and this other guy are able to access Helheim Lockseeds when apparently Helheim is gone. So how are you guys able to do that? If this was going on like during the show, I'm okay, yeah. but this is the year after. Helheim's gone. You guys have no access to it, but apparently you do.
Mm-hmm.
So why? Don't ask questions. We're just here
Just
to have
don't.
fun. Just don't. But you know, we
So much like Taya Gardner, Zach wants to go to New York to become a dancer.
What's up with that?
I mean, I know he always wanted to be a dancer, period, but
yeah, but again, it's like there's a lot of theater and a lot of it in New York, so I mean, not so much in LA, but I have heard Houston is pretty big for dance right now. But again, Jackie has a dream.
Yeah. Zach, he's a dancing maniac. Because he's a maniac on the floor. And he's dancing like he's never danced before.
Near the water.
Yeah.
He just has the dream because, well, Kaito's gone.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Yeah. Team Baron's just disbanded.
It's no more. So, but again, it's kind of like, again, you know, even with Gaim and all, there was one person who was like, well, you had focus on Mai and Kota and Kaito. There were people in the dance group that were doing it for the love of dance. And I wouldn't have, and if you were to tell me that Zachy Boy over here was the one that was, I am all about the dance, I wouldn't have believed you. Oh my, this kid?
To be fair, the only reason he was dancing less than the other members of Team Baron is because he was a little preoccupied actually protecting all the dancers. Because if you remember in that one episode when like they did that collaborative dance, it's like, oh no, all those Kurokage troopers are gonna ruin our ability to go footloose. Like, who's gonna save us? Koda's not here, and Michi's not doing anything, and freaking Tonochi is part of the attack squad. Who's gonna protect the dancers? Zach.
It was Zachy Boy.
He's a dancing maniac.
You know, Zach was always the one that never disappointed in this show. There were times we looked at everyone else, and they were just like, with the decisions that they made. But Zach had a good head on his shoulders. You know, that's why later on, Baron had it. Like, you know, there's always like the secondary rider. We like, you know, people want to say that Baron is the secondary rider. No. This show has two Kamen Riders. That's Gaim and Baron. And then they have their own respective secondary riders, being Ryugen and oh god.
Yeah, you hate it.
The coconut, the Knuckle. You know,
yeah, Knuckle.
They're their respective secondary riders.
Yeah,
because again, it's someone that they trust. You know, Kota trusted Michi, and still to this day trusts him. Kaito trusts Zach, and Zach was always by his side no matter what.
He never disappointed.
He was best boy. He was good boy. He was
the only bad Zach moment was literally only that first episode when he was having that Invis duel against Mai and Peko cheated.
Well, that was Peko though, not
Zach. But Zach was like complacent. But like again, that was the only instance. Like it's like episode 2 or 3 onward, Zach was honorable because Kaito ordered him to be honorable.
But again, it's like this is like episode 1 and 2. We don't really know these characters. I mean, Mai could have turned into a bitch, you know?
Yeah.
Like so many, like we could have focused on one of the other girls in fucking Gaim besides like Mai or Rat's girlfriend. Like there were other girls in Team Gaim.
like the girl with the glasses from Team Invito. Or like that entire team comprised of the Kamen Rider girls.
Yeah, what happened to all of them? It's like, wait, oh yeah, no, yeah, we don't need them anymore. They just kind of like they were there for like an episode or two. They don't need them anymore.
No.
All right. Okay.
No, and there were like what? There were supposed to be like what, 14 teams? But
Yeah.
I think we can all agree Team Red Hot was the worst team.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, yeah, fuck them. Fuck them.
Yeah. Yeah,
But-
it's like Raid Wild were mostly jerks because Hase was a jerk. Which again, why does Coda miss him again?
I don't know. But yeah, well, so apparently we're talking Fight Club
Yeah.
because apparently Pecco is now involved in Fight Club, and not that he is in Fight Club, he's one of the ring girls.
Yes, he's collecting the pool. And of course Pecco's older sister, who has the hots for Zach, by the way, like she calls up Zach at the perfect time because Zach is not making it big in New York. So it's like, yeah, I could go back to Japan for a minute. Because apparently there's a new team, there's a team Neo Baron.
TikTok was not a thing back then. Give it a couple more years, Zach, and possibly, but yeah, you know, not a lot of focus on dance at the time. But yeah, oh, you got to come back and save Pecco because I think Pecco is in a bad crowd. Really? You don't say.
You don't say.
Okay, I'll save the dumbass. And again, you think it's just to go walking in there? No, you got like Zach.
You got to thoroughly research.
You got a battle royale your way over, and it's like, you know what? I think there's like prison logic rules here because, like, you know, I'm not here for blah blah blah. I'm here for that guy. I'm fighting for that guy. I'm like, you're fighting for your bitch, Zach.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, if you want Pecco, then you're gonna have to fight against this F1 fighter, this real life F1 fighter.
I saw that. I was like, wait a minute, you got an actual fighter, and you actually use him.
Yeah, like Zach's actor literally got multiple back injuries from the fight sequence where he literally fights him. Oh yeah, and indoctrinated members of Team Neo Baron get a Messiah Lock Seed. So not an important detail, but it is a thing that happened.
Let me see. Gaim Gaiden. Who was that fighter? I know who that fighter. Let's see here. No, because I'm like, you know, like they put in the soccer players like in both the
the football movie, yeah.
But it's kind of like they were just there. You didn't really see them do anything. They kind of just, oh hey, what's up? You know
what? Credit to the filler episode. At least that episode had football stars actually playing football instead of randomly cameoing.
They had one. They had the older
gentleman. I hate myself that I said that one filler episode did something better than the actual football movie.
Yeah, no, I mean that's the thing. I mean, well, who knows? But the thing is, they did get an MMA fighter in this show, in this special, which, again, pretty impressive. Pretty fucking impressive that they did do that. And actually had a fight choreographed of him and Zach going at it, no shirts, bare knuckle, and it started from one end and then it ended in another. Like you could feel the impact of what Zach was going through. Beats this guy and tells Pecco, "You're coming with me." For Pecco to just be like, "No,
I'm staying."
Wow. Zach, you best backhand your bitch. Because what the F, Pecco? Like, legitimately, what are you doing? Let's see here. Oh, we forgot the guy, the blonde kid from the pass off is here.
Yeah, he's the leader of Neo Baron. Turns out, before they were Team Baron, they were just a random street group, which included this dude, Zach, and Pecco's sister. And Kaido just happens to come back to town. It's like, well, out of all the dance teams I saw so far, this is the only one with a glimmer of potential. So he just jumps in on their stage while they're dancing, does his own moves, and everyone just suddenly starts syncing up to his dance choreography. It's like, I'll join your team as your leader. And it's like, whoa. You can't just join. Well, you want to fight about it?
Mm-hmm.
And Kaido single-handedly beats up everyone. But then Died Kengo does the most Died Kengo thing you could think of. Grab a pipe and try to hit Kaido from behind. And if you remember what Pecco did in the first episode...
Yeah.
Actually, come to think of it, he was actually a lot more lenient with Pecco than he was with this guy.
Yeah, go figure.
Yeah.
For a slingshot, you're ready to kill Pecco, but for what that happened, you were kind of like nonchalant. I'll let that one slide. Really?
Yeah.
Shura.
So he kicks Shura out of the team.
Yeah.
And we never see Shura ever again until just recently.
Yeah, because now he's involved with an underground street gang that is basically Fight Club.
Yeah, so some of the Team Neo Baron members have their own Kurokage troopers. Again, how did you get the mass-produced Genesis drive? That's sorry, it's Sengoku drivers.
I don't know. And apparently, so wait, the technology's gone and destroyed. But how did you guys get it?
I'm just gonna, for the most part, I'm just gonna say it's been a year since the winter film. Maybe Michi finally figured something out. But again, how did these guys get their hands on them?
It's the underground. You know, you can get anything from there.
Yeah.
Let's see here. But yeah, no, so Zach is going through so much hell trying to get Pecco back for just for his sister. That's the only reason why he's there.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't have given a damn. Yeah. Only for well, he won, but then next thing you know, 6 other dudes join in, which they're the same as Pecco. They're the bottoms. But they're going to fight him. But it's like, Zach already took on an MMA fighter, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. And the actor got back injuries from doing it.
Yeah. So, again, be a badass. Let him rest. Let him do something. No,
cowards. All of them. No. But you know who really shows their manliness?
Oh, here he comes. Cue the Mick Foley WWE music right there, because the man, the myth, the legend that is our boy, our man, the only man in this show.
Bonjour, it is me, Oran Pierre Alfonso. How unmanly of you to have six people against one man. Surely you are all nothing but savage cowards. How would you like to fight 3 on 6 instead? 3 on 6. That's right. Jonochi, the godfather of Sengoku Riders, is here.
Yeah, he just want. I mean, but here's the thing, though.
They don't have their belts.
They don't have their belts. They have none of that. But again,
but
remember,
still kicking butt. Jonochi is kicking butt.
Oran fought a armored rider bear. No transformation. He fought an armored rider without even transforming and still kicked his ass. Imagine just a bunch of skinny little like cutie femme soy boys that want to act like fucking Fight Club. I'm like, you all want to say you're fighters. This man is a goddamn warrior. He ain't gonna fucking hold back. again, as they say, when you're in a street fight, there are no rules.
Yeah.
Oren Pierre, just with those freaking biceps, could crush you, which he does. He takes on all 6 like no problem. And then Janochi comes in and grabs Zach, and it's like, dude, let's get the fuck out of here. We gotta go.
Mm-hmm.
They got like, what about Oron? He'll be fine. Don't worry about him.
Yeah.
He's got it. Next week we're reviewing him, so there's nothing bad's gonna happen to him. So he's good. We gotta go.
And even to review it, remember he appeared in episode 8 of Kamen Rider Saber.
Yeah. So he's good. He's fine. You can't get rid of him. You can't get rid of Metal Yoshida.
Yeah.
So, in all honesty, and here's a little montage of him and Zach running, and it's just like, man, you guys are just. I'm not trying to be serious, but you guys are looking funny as fuck, just running, just like tripping over each other, and just like, we gotta go. Like, only to get stopped by a couple of Kurakages.
And who is there to save them? Good boy Michi.
Michi boy. It's Mokuba-chan.
Good boy Michi. Moki, you got taller. Well, yeah, some of us anime characters actually do go through puberty. Oh, sorry, Yugi, I didn't realize you were here.
Oh yeah, no, that's
By the way, I still haven't seen Dark Side of Dimensions.
Still hasn't grown. Still has not grown.
Yeah. But yeah, so Michi's like, listen, here's what's going on. Neo Baron are a bunch of occultists that are because there was a cult called Black Body, which showed up in the Kamen Rider Duke Gaiden. But yeah, no, they're you trying to use
there's that whole thing about like, I thought they were like the secret snake society, the
secret snake society from Billy and Andy.
They kept playing the whole like the serpent summoner's flute, and I was ready for that. Oh man, I seriously was like, oh, I gotta tell Mike he has to download that. Agenda, dun dun dun.
Agenda.
Like that's literally what had my whole time when they were talking. It's like, wait. Are these guys trying to say they're the serpents from the Garden of Eden? Because if that is true, then we have the secret snake club, right?
Yeah. Apparently there is a stage play, which we're not reviewing, by the way. There's a stage. We are doing a different stage play, but not this one in particular, because it did not release on Blu-ray. But yeah, apparently there's a writer that is the serpent from Eden, but it's not Sagara for some reason. And for some reason, he has like the black. Well, basically, he's a repaint of 15, but slightly purple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And yeah, and his lock seat will be one of the lock seats used by freaking Kamen Rider Saber in the novel. Apparently, haven't read the novel, but apparently his Genesis core uses a gold apple, taboo apple, dark apple, and yes, even Macha's repainted 15 fruit thing. Yeah, if you want to do the Four Horsemen thing, you could have done a better job at it.
Yeah.
But, but good boy Michi got a new Sengoku driver. It's like, listen, I got a new Sengoku driver. Oh, and I got you a new Kirumi lock seed, just like how you used to have one. Oh, and I developed a brand new energy lock seed, which would go great with Kaido's Genesis driver. It still works, right? No, Ryoma blew it up. Remember, you were literally there when it happened.
let's not talk about continuity because again, whoever was
Nietzsche was literally there when Kaidos
apparently
and
the
Yoko.
writers were not. Because it's like, wait a minute. Wait, I know a year has gone by, but we still remember the story. It's like, yeah, but I mean, new writers or old writers, those after work drink parties, the kind of really mess up the continuity sometimes. So yeah, for some reason they still have it. It's still workable. It's still I'm like,
just
okay.
not the Genesis driver.
Just not the Genesis.
Core somehow works, just not the driver.
It's kind of like you're trying to upgrade a Game Boy to a DS or a DSi. With like, how are
by
you
using a second Game Boy?
Yeah, how are you supposed to do that? Or how is that even possible? To upgrade an older tech with something that was
writer logic, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so, because apparently these things can be modded ridiculously.
Yeah.
Something that I'm pretty sure the good doctor didn't want to happen. Or like, no, I wouldn't even think he would even make it possible. Like, no, once it's gone, it's gone. It's stupid. But yeah so he transforms back into Knuckle, goes on, and now we finally go back to Fight Club.
We have a brief moment with Pecco first, where it's like, I'm sorry, I was trying to be incognito and like do some espionage, but just like how the song goes, well, I'm in too deep and I'm trying to keep my head from going under.
That's kind of, that's really a thing that, sad to say, is a thing with most groups of friends, or just like, when the one member is gone, it just disbands. That was the
the nucleus.
That was the nucleus. That was the pin that held the stage together. That was like the whole reason why this all even happened. But once it's gone, it's like, well, Pecco was doing espionage, but again, what was his incentive to come back? There was nothing for him to come back to.
I will say this. If I could actually, I haven't used this in a while. I'm gonna use it. Wait, do I? Yes. The Jim Cornette alert is here. Here's how I would have done. Here's one thing I would have changed in this movie. So remember how he was doing that audition in the beginning of the Knuckle episode?
Yeah.
What if they're like, wait, you're from Team... Wait, were you in Team Barrett? Yes. Well, I'm sorry, but we can't have you in our in our project. Why? Because we can't allow any members of Team Baron be be associated with our company. And he'd be like super confused as to why. And then his American friend will show him the video clips. It's like, oh, Team Baron are bad guys now. And because they are being behaviorally slandered, that means I am losing work by association. So now he has a reason to go back. And then once he gets to the airport, it's like he finds out from Pecco's sister, it's worse than you think it is, because Pecco got involved. I haven't seen him in days. I need you to find him for me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and Pecco's sister also taught him how to dance, so ain't that cute?
It really is the whole thing where we show how just amazing of a guy Zach is,
Yeah.
Just of how like he goes the distance, and he really is one of those guys that no one really appreciated him
until later on.
Until later on, when we'll get there. But still, the one who saw it was the one guy who was not there anymore. The literal pin that held it all together. But he winds up going back and confronting Ashura.
Yeah, because Shura has Pecco's sister hostage.
He took her hostage. Such a dick move. This piece of crap. This Bandit Keith looking wannabe motherfucker.
He basically is Bandit Keith.
Yeah, he's such a tool. Like, you know, but why did he take Pecco's sister? Why did he take her away? Just to be an asshole. He kind of knew.
He just wanted to settle things with Zack because Zack is still saying that Kaido's goated, but Kaido's a lame tool who's not here anymore. Blah blah blah.
Kaido's dead, you dumbass. Kaido's dead. If he was such a goat, he'd be here with us right now, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, motherfucker, I know that you weren't in the show, but I mean, compared to what they all went through, and you're the one saying you're a badass, please, man. That's like the fucking street punk kid, like looking at veterans of war and saying, I've seen more action than you guys have. What the hell are you talking about? You're right. You used to run with these guys, but you remember them back then. You don't know what the fuck they've been through.
Yeah.
You don't know what the hell they, Zack and everyone else have gone through fucking war. And yet you want to say that you're bad because you got a bunch of punks together to make some fight club, that you're the badass of badasses, and also I got the banana. Good for you.
Yeah, you're Black Baron, and you're not even that black either. It's like you're still yellow for the most part.
You know what? Black Gaim, that was black. That was black. In terms of Black Baron, it's literally, you know how when I don't even know how this is even possible, or I thought it was just
they just took the red parts of Baron and repainted them black.
It's like when you see like Sentai Mechs or Megazord, and they're like, you know, they're painted black.
Yeah, the black and gold edition.
Yeah. I thought those were fake because I started seeing like ones that I'm like, wait a minute, I know they did one for Mighty Morphin, but now you're telling me there's one for Dino Thunder, one for Hurricaneer, one for like wait. I
saw a Power Ranger one once.
Yeah, I was like, wait, are these official, or did you guys just take one and just painted it? But you're selling it online for, it's a limit. No, it's not, dude. It's a base one that you ruined by painting it, and now you're trying to pass it off like it's a limited edition one. No, thank you. That's what this guy is. That's what Shore is. He's just, I mean, again, the pompous attitude when it comes down to Seto Kaiba or to Jack Atlas, it's because of their skills and what they have obtained and what they've done. This guy literally is Bandit Keith because he just wants to say he's a badass just because he is a badass.
Yeah.
And really, it's like, nope. Well, yeah, you do have the Baron armor. You are rocking Baron. That doesn't mean jack at all.
Yeah, it's like any mook can. Actually, you know what's a good example? I was gonna be like, well, like imagine if like say like some random novice player had a blue eyes white dragon, but I have a more real example. Freaking Gary Stu from Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0, the movie. He has a red eyes black dragon, sure, but does he know how to use it? No, because instead of actually using the red eyes black dragon, he just shows it to other kids who want to play against him, and it's like once they see the red eyes black dragon, they're like, oh no, it's a rare red eyes black dragon. We can't possibly win in a duel against him. So then they lose by default by refusing the challenge. So this kid has like dozens of wins by default.
By default, yeah.
Yeah, but then Kaiba wants to steal it, and then Yugi gets it, and then Yugi uses the red eyes black dragon against 3 blue eyes white dragons and wins.
And he wins.
Yeah. And then you got Rex Raptor having red eyes black dragon versus Joey Wheeler having red eyes black dragon. Big difference.
I mean, neither one knew how. I mean, here's the thing: neither Joey nor Rex knew how to use it like efficiently. But the thing was, Joey learned.
Yeah, over time.
Over time, he learned. It's the same thing. Oh yeah, I got the Banana Baron Lockseed. Look, I don't know about you, Shora, but here's the thing. at this point in time, that's like saying I got me a fucking Charizard and I can kick your ass. I'm like, okay, kid, fine. Pull out your little Charizard. What level's your Charizard? 36? Oh, so it just barely evolved. Okay.
Yeah, my Charizard knows Blast Burn.
Here's my Kingdra.
Mm-hmm.
That I had to go up to I had to train it and it's up to level 60.
Yeah.
Oh, but Kingdra's stupid. It's not as bad as Charizard. Are you serious?
You know what's funny is I remember two of my friends and I got Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. I got Diamond, they both got Pearl. At the same time, I chose Turtwig, they both chose Chimchar. By the time we were all at level 15, both of their Chimchars were already Monfernos because they evolve at level 14. But my Turtwig was still a Turtwig because it doesn't evolve into Gordle until level 18.
Yeah.
They're like, our fire type starters are already evolved to their second stage. Your grass type starter is still in its basic form. How sad. We're going to kick your butt. But by the time all of us were at level 40.
Did you forget that Turtwig is also a ground type?
Keep in mind, this was 2007, back when we didn't have Cerebi to confirm things yet. And also rivals have the superior element instead of the inferior element. So we're all, by the time all of us are level 40, they sick their Infernapes at my Torterra. I'm like, oh, you have Infernapes. That's cute. Torterra, use Earthquake.
Mm-hmm.
Times 4 advantage.
Yep.
Because back then, I don't know if it's still the case, fighting is weak against ground.
Yeah. But Shurug was certainly annoying as fuck.
Yeah.
Even though in this fight with Zach, he kind of did have the upper hand, but again, Zach had just gone through war. He fought an MMA fighter. He fought 6 guys, fought 2 Kurakages. The man was already exhausted.
Yep.
So I'm like, and you're all up. You're all like bananaed up and kicking his ass, and you're looking at him and saying how pathetic he is. How sad. The man literally just went through the Super Smash Brothers 100 PC challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And you basic bitch are calling him weak when he fights you.
So this is where we get the best part.
Very much so. So, Echo shows up, and apparently he switched out a part or something.
He took out the Genesis core from Kaido's Genesis driver.
Yeah, and put it in the belt without us even noticing that he did it, for him to come and give the upgraded, the energy, the what is this thing exactly? It looks like a freaking sea urchin.
Chestnut.
It's an upgraded chestnut.
Yeah.
But it's spiky.
Yeah. Here we go.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Yeah.
He becomes a spiky, punchy boy.
Yeah.
And again, this dumb bastard looks at him and still makes fun of him for how he looks.
Yep.
And I'm like, do you not realize it's like, you're right. I will agree with people that, how come a Dratini goes from a
Dragonair to a Dragonite?
Almost every single dragon, when they go from their little form, they become some badass looking form. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. You dare look at a Dragonite, the original dragon Pokemon, not a variant, no, the original dragon. And you're going to tell me, dude, there's no fucking way that thing is going to beat my Charizard. What? Excuse me, what? Look at him. He's all round and dopey. He's got a little smile on his face. How's he going to beat my dragon? First off, your fucking Charizard ain't no goddamn dragon, so shut your damn mouth. Secondly, this is a pseudo-legendary. And Shota, you're rocking base 1 armor, while Zaki Boy here is literally a 5-star.
Remember when Arcanine was considered a legendary Pokemon?
It's a pseudo-legendary, so I still give respect to Arcanine. But again, that's like saying a Charizard can beat an Arcanine. I'm like, no, it can't. I'm sorry, it can't. That's like saying, you know what, Charizard can never beat Lucario. The steel types are weak again. You do realize that Lucario is faster than Charizard, right?
Yeah.
So if he gets one of the good hits on him, you're done. That it don't like typing.
I remember I had to play Pokemon Go with this kid, and this kid would always want to use Charizard. Charizard's the best. Charizard is the greatest. Blah 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 blah. But then like I use like much weaker Pokemon, like freaking, like freaking Lantern.
A water electric type.
Yeah.
Who would win there?
It's like your Pokemon is stupid. It's
water electric type, and Charizard is weak against water, but also 25% damage for electric.
It's what's it called? What's it called? Electric is
electric on fire.
Electric beats flying, which is what Charizard is.
Yeah, so fire electric, a water electric versus fire flying. Mm-hmm. You might as well be digging a grave at that point.
Yeah.
But the thing is, my point is, again, this jerk just kind of makes fun of Zach just because of how he looks, and there's no way he's gonna win. I'm like, are you? Well, I wouldn't.
I mean, realistically, I could have been that kid using a Cacturn.
I could, you know what? That's the thing when it comes down to like anything like people want to talk about just like the strength, the raw power. I'm like, you do realize that status effects and everything like that is also a key component in battles, right?
Yeah. Also, like, what's it called? People don't really respect what the word power even means because it's been so frequently misused.
They think it's just the physical. They think it's just like the might that you have.
Well, the thing is, it is physical, but the thing is, it's like in actual like sports science, there's a spectrum of force used. So there's endurance, then stamina, then strength, then power. And the thing is, when you power refers to like giving it your all, like we're talking 1 to 3 repetitions max.
Mm-hmm. No, I know.
Yeah, like when you see a weightlifter lift 400 plus pounds, that's a power lift. Like they're only gonna lift it up one time and be done with it. If you're doing stamina,
he could lift it again without struggling.
Yeah. And endurance is something that you could do for over a long period of time. Like let's say more than 12 repetitions.
Yeah, so if you can do it once, okay, great.
Yeah.
But if you can do it multiple times, now you have my attention and my respect.
Yeah, and so it's like really funny when someone asks me like, "Oh, how much do you bench?" I'm like, "Well, I bench 150." It's like, "You only bench 150?" And like they're thinking when I say 150, I'm referring to like
that's
power benching. It's like this is my 1 rep max. It's like, oh no, and then I'm like doing a bunch of like 150s, and they're like, it's like, oh, you must have misunderstood. When I said I do 150, I don't mean my power is 150. No. My stamina is 150. I do 3 sets of 10, sometimes even 5 sets of 10 at 150. So if you like calculate that into power, but the thing is, I'm not a power guy. I'm not an endurance guy. I'm a strength stamina guy. You know, I'm like riding the bell curve.
Yeah, no, that's the BS about how people want to see power and whatnot. I'm like, fine, you know, that's cool. But again, you don't understand it. You don't, and I don't blame you for not getting it. So
yeah, it's like you don't understand what that means because
yeah, so
because if you do 30 repetitions of 150 pounds, that means your one repetition maximum is 300 pounds. That's more than how much I weigh. Heck, I remember I've been able to like do 10 repetitions of like shoulder shrugs at 270, which means that even just one repetition was more than my actual body weight. But I did 10 in one set, and then I did 3 sets. So yeah, never confuse power for anything meaningful.
Nope. But because here's the thing. Even though Zach went through all that crap and he got his upgrade. Well, he got his upgrade, and how quickly he disposed of this guy. Like, like launching the spikes, like hitting him so hard. It's like, so what happened, Shura? I thought you were like, you know, you were like Kaito. You were a god. You were no. The banana got squashed, and in a pathetic way that even Kaito himself would just been like, "You dare call yourself Baron?" Hell, Kaito Baron form, him base, just like Fies, was OP as hell. Like even an upgraded rider would have so much trouble fighting, you know, Kaito Baron form. But because it's not Kaito, whatever. And he just dies. Good. Die. Stay dead. Don't come back. But
yeah. And then Zach reflects on what he said to Shura. It's like, you know I told Shura that I understand you better than anyone else, but the truth is I honestly don't think I really did understand you as well. I think maybe because I was so close to you, I wanted to learn you, understand you better. It's like that's just it. The only reason you can't understand me is because you're not me. Well, let me ask you this: why did you not kill me when I try to assassinate you? Is because part of me believed in your potential. I want you to walk out becoming stronger. To pashire sora wo tobe.
Yeah, but again, the final attack.
It's literally gorilla metal.
Zaki dies.
Yeah,
that's it.
Does he? It seemed like he died.
I mean, the thing is that, you know, we have that whole thing. He demorphs, he collapses. He's there with Peko and his sister, and of course they do the whole like calling his name 3 times. You know, that whole, and then he just either is out or dead, either or. But they are like, he died. The way that they are acting, it's like he died, and that's it. We cue him, you know, obviously reflecting on everything that happened, but then he sees Kaito. And Kaito, as we know, is dead. He is dead. He is a spirit that just wanders. He is looking after. He is the spirit that guards and protects Zawami City. So I'm just like, so wait, did Zach actually die? Because he's seeing Kaito. And he's talking to him. He's telling him, you know, like, hey, you know, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you know what? You were always, you know, you were always my number one guy, Zach. You were always.
Can we dance one last time?
Let's dance one last time. Why are you saying one more time? What do you mean one more time? What do you mean? I know that there's no more after this, but you can't tell me that Zack is dead. You can't tell me that with everything he went through. We're not sure. I'm gonna have to look it up, but the canon is supposedly he died, and him and Baron dancing is just the main rider and the secondary rider of Team Baron now have literally passed on.
Mm-hmm. Well, apparently Zack did recover from his injuries.
Good.
Oh yeah, it's in the end credits.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Because he can't die. But they have one last dance, and I was like, oh, cue the credits. And here I thought we were going to have like a Gaiden thing where it's like showing the cast and crew and then getting like flowers. Oh, no, it's just them dancing.
Yeah.
So blessings on that,
Yeah, it's good stuff. I like the dance sequence. I do like the song Dance With Me. But what's really interesting is that it's actually Kaido singing the song, not Zack, which is interesting because you'd think Zack would be the one singing it.
You would think so, but I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. No, we got to give the almost Captain Marvelous a cameo in this show, which a lot of people did contact me and said, I didn't know that. I did not know that. Like, I didn't either. I didn't know. But so what do we say about these Gaim Gaidens? What do we say?
I definitely like this one better than the first one, mainly Duke.
I mean, we did get some backstories to Duke and to everyone else. Again, as I said, with these stories, here's the thing: the Duke one could have been in the story. It could have been.
Yeah, like all of the first three could have been in the story because, like, they did take place during.
Then gets Baron and Duke. Those three could have been in the main story. While now we have Knuckle that kind of like takes place a year after. So
which that one makes sense, and it's a little bit longer. It's like unlike the first three, which are like 30 minutes each, this one's more 40 minutes.
Like another like 10 minutes more, which I'm like,
okay.
So
it feels more like a proper movie because remember, Power Rangers the movie was 37 minutes long.
Yeah.
Including credits.
Yeah. So again, it's like, so again, I say that the Gaim Gaidens for this one, we'll give it a 9 through and through because now again, or give it another 8.5 because again, while this was another thing that we could have had in the show, but we didn't. We decided to do this. But then you have the redemption that is giving Zack a final arc and a final story and kind of a happily ever after, even though he went through so much. So again, it goes to a solid 9. It could have been an 8.5, which I was originally going to do, but because you give us a story a year later, now you gave us an interesting tidbit for us to be like, oh, okay, so okay, cool. But it just solidified that Zack was best boy throughout the whole
Zack
series.
was indeed the best boy. And for me, I would have to give an 8 to the Duke one because it's not bad, but it could have been better. I feel like they were really trying to set up the whole black body thing because they did kind of bleed the black body storyline into Knuckle a little bit. But they and I know that there's going to be a novel later on where Black Body does come back, but I haven't read the novel.
And we're not going to.
I'm sorry. It's bad enough this guy has to watch a 2.5-hour stage play for next week. But, and me too, by the way, because, I haven't watched the stage play either. But you guys keep saying that important events in the stage play will affect Gaim Gaiden 3. Okay. But
Cool.
see, this is the kind of reason why I'm not a fan of the Boom Studios comics. No offense to the people who do like them. No offense to the writers of the comics. I'm not hating on you guys. You do you. But for me, it's like, because one, the stuff from the extracurricular material, i.e. the Boom Studios comics, does not connect to anything that happens in the actual TV show. I know they loosely try to do a Shattergrid thing with Dimensions in Danger, but the thing is, nothing from Shattergrid actually happened in Dimensions in Danger. They're just loosely referenced. And you can't even say that the Morphin Masters were from the comics because they were referenced in the first season of Mighty Morphin.
And in the last. So
yeah. So
there you go.
Yeah. So it's like I appreciate you're trying to set up extracurricular stuff, but like I hate it when like you're trying to make the extracurricular stuff canon with the TV show, because not everyone's gonna have access to those things. You know, like take the Kamen Rider Buster manga. It's like, it's cool knowing what he was like in high school when he first became Buster, but you don't necessarily need it to understand the character better in the show. I mean, granted, when he decides to become a teacher in the final episode, which is a one-off line, you appreciate it more if you did read the comics, but you won't lose much of anything if you
You're not going to lose any sleep if you didn't know it.
Yeah. You wouldn't lose any sleep if you didn't know it. You just appreciate it more if you did know it, because the previous Buster was his teacher. Like his actual high school teacher. But yeah, with that said, I do like that we're actually moving forward with Knuckle. So that's why Duke is an 8 for me, but Knuckle is a 10, because you know, like V-Snakes are usually like supposed to be continuations, but the Gaidens are mostly like midquels. It takes place in the middle of the story. And don't get me wrong, when I first was coming up with ideas for Bravo's Gaim Gaiden, I did want it to take place while he was trapped in Helheim before he reunited with Coda. But we'll get into that next week. But that's where I would have placed it if I did. Yeah, unfortunately, the next Gaim Gaiden is when they start doing CSMs instead. So as far as the deluxe and Loxies go, there won't be any. I have CSMs for the Gaiden movie, but I don't have all of the CSMs because I just wanted that lychee Lockseed. But yeah, so let us know what you guys thought in the comments. This movie's 10 minutes longer than the previous one, but let's see if you can make this review shorter. Ooh, I mean, we'd be cutting it close if we did.
We're cutting it. Boys on.
Yeah, because we're 47 minutes in. 1 hour, 47 minutes. I'm just joking. I love you guys rambling on. It's what makes watching a 2-hour video about a 90-minute of content so fun.
Like I said, grab yourself some coffee and some cake because we're going to be here a while.
Yeah. Yeah. What was it? Nostalgia Critic? Lol. I think. Wait, I think, was he talking about the person that you were referring to? The person that you're not going to mention?
No, it was not the Nostalgia Critic. It was not him. But again,
I doubt it would be a Nostalgia Critic because,
again, he's not. I mean, have you seen him talk about? I mean, no joke. Look on YouTube. Type in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie, like, you know, just reviews, right?
Yeah.
Or even Turbo. There, Nostalgia Critic, Brendan Tenold, Decker Shadow, that one creepy guy. All these people have spoken about these movies, and I know that some of these are actually near and dear to our hearts. But I mean, guys, I'll be honest with you, and I'm sorry. I have watched the 2017 movie more than I have those original films. I prefer to watch the 2017 Bryan Cranston, Bill Hader version than watch the originals, because it is so, and also the fact that there's an entire director's cut that we never will ever see, of what the movie was supposed to be, both Turbo and Mighty Morphin, but you want to rag on the 2017 movie because Dunkin' Donuts.
See, here's the thing. I'm the opposite of you in that the 2017 movie is my least favorite, but
I didn't like
my issues with the movie has literally nothing to do with Krispy Kreme.
I mean, here's the thing, though. I mean, I know a lot of people want to rag on the suits, but I'm like, imagine, just like Andre the Black Critic said, if someone had made these suits in their garage, like, let's update the Mighty Morphin look. Let's update the Zoo Ranger armor and make it like the movie back in 95, 96, but make it like, you know, today or more sci-fi, more spacek. Y'all would be like, that's awesome. I love it. It's edgy. But because a multi-million-dollar corporation did it, you all are like, ew, boo, no. And because apparently Trini is gay, apparently, I'm gonna be, if Twee Trang were alive today, I don't think she would have had any problem with it. In fact,
it's not even that she was gay. It's also that Billy was autistic.
Well, I'm sorry. Look at Billy back in the day. I don't know what it was about the 90s, but every smart kid literally spoke like a fucking like an old processing computer. I'm like, what kid speaks like this? I know smart kids.
See, here's the thing. I watched the movie. I watched the movie on opening night, so I wasn't exposed to any of that. God damn it! What was that YouTube channel that used to be like very political and like hipsterish? I forgot its name.
You're not talking about SourceFed, are you?
No. BuzzFeed, that's the one.
Oh, screw BuzzFeed.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Like BuzzFeed, they would do nothing but advertise. Oh my god, this movie has a gay ranger and an autistic ranger. Like, it's the singular most important thing about the movie. Now, keep in mind, both of those two things. But here's the thing. I don't care. And honestly, I'm glad I actually watched the movie before I saw the advert, before I saw BuzzFeed.
The reason why you went to go see the movie? Yeah. If that's your number one reason, not that this is my childhood,
not that this might be your kid's childhood,
or your kid's childhood, or maybe like you were a fan and you're like, okay, a modern day retelling of the original show. All right. Didn't mind it, didn't care. But again, I'm like, you know what? If that was your reason for going and you weren't happy because, oh, look at how they made them, look at how they represented us, or how like
like both sides of the spectrum were upset about how
I even said original Billy, when you hear him talk in the show, it's like Trini. You remember that movie Blue Skies or October Skies, where they were making the model rockets and trying, all that stuff, and they had that
October Sky, the Rocket Boys.
They had the one nerdy kid who was like speaking in like
Jake Gyllenhaal. No, not Jake Gyllenhaal. The other one.
It was the other kid. It was like it's that one
with the glasses.
Yeah. That he spoke like everyone looked at him like he's talking about equations and fractions and mathematics, and everyone's like, and then they look at the other guy like. He's saying that we should tighten that bolt and then solder it. Mm-hmm. Well, why didn't he say that? He did say it.
It's like didn't understand how he said it. Yeah, that was a real Trini moment. Yeah,
that was Trini.
So
in the original show. So
let me go into this. So you got people on both sides of the political spectrum getting mad at the movie because you got one side getting mad because BuzzFeed was like severely advertising that specific detail, like it's the one thing that matters more than anything else. While the other side got upset because that detail wasn't explored
or
enough
the whole race
in the actual
topic.
movie. But here's the thing: me watching the movie, having watched the movie before BuzzFeed even got their hands on discussing the movie, I'm like, yeah, I'm okay with this. Like it's
I enjoyed it. I really did. I did.
Yeah, like RJ Seiler, like he did a great job portraying a teenager that's on the spectrum. Wasn't over exaggerated. He wasn't like underplaying it. Like the two things I really hate about portrayals of people with ASD, and again, this is me coming from a position of having ASD, is like you're either doing like the socially awkward person who has no like concept of typical behavior, where they're just acting like
again
cognitively throttled, or they act like the suave super genius. It's like
when you have people that don't know or don't even know about the fandom they're talking about, just trying to add gasoline to the fire. It's just like, bro, that's not the reason why I like the movie. That's not the reason why I prefer this series over that.
And meanwhile, Trini being gay, it was just one throwaway line.
I mean, I was like, that's it. That's what everyone got mad about. That's what BuzzFeed was trying to run with. That, like, again, I'm like, well, cool, great. I mean, the running joke back in the 90s was also that they thought that like Trini was actually because she was the tomboy, because tomboys all that was the running joke. We get it. She
wasn't even that much of a tomboy. She had a doll collection.
They also cut out that scene where Kimberly and Jason actually made out. Remember that if you watch the original trailer, they actually saw people were furious. Like, what about Tommy? What about apparently
Tommy's not here yet.
Tommy was going to be a girl. Even the late Jason Frank admitted that they asked him, what if we made Tommy a girl in this version? Would that make, like Kim and like Tommy like lesbians? Like, he didn't care about that. He was just like, hey, it's not mine. This is not us. But
I'm just here for 2 scenes, and one of them gets deleted. That's it.
He said it himself. I fully endorse if you get a female to be Tommy. Yeah. And again, great, but we never got.
But again, my issue with the movie has nothing to do with Krispy Kreme or how RJ Seiler and Becky G portrayed their characters. Honestly, my biggest issue with the movie, actually one of my biggest issues, not all of them, actually has more to do with what's her name, Kimberly, because the way they wrote her character makes her seem like an apologetic bully. And the thing is, if they just added a scene where like turns out things were not how even she thought they were, it would have made more sense of going from this scene in the bedroom versus that scene on the street. You know which 2 scenes I'm talking about.
Apparently there's a director's cut out there that, again, a lot was removed for whatever reason.
It's like she sent me like a spicy photo, and then I gave it to her boyfriend, and then I told her, is this how you want your girlfriend to look? And then he broke up with her, and that's why I got into trouble, because she narked on me. And then like next time you see the other girl, it's like her car gets destroyed. She's like, yeah, that's what you get. It's like, that's what you get. And the thing is, you know what would have fixed it? They added a scene where she found out completely unintentionally that turns out that the other girl and Tyler were secretly working together to get Kim in trouble by making it look like Kim cyber bullied her. That would have been better, because then when she says, yeah, that's what you deserve, it's like, yeah, she did deserve it, because turns out she falsely accused Kim of cyberbullying her.
Again, this is how teenagers are in today's society.
But I have to say,
again, that's why
I prefer the Turbo movie, believe it or not.
The representation of teenagers, I seriously, as I said many times, I never believed that these kids had attitude in the 90s. There was nothing of attitude. They were goodies, community service.
I mean, the 90s definition of attitude was different. It was more like they're go-getters.
there was none of that. So to give me attitude in this, I was like, okay, that's it.
Nowadays, attitude means like you're
again,
fronting, but
said,
like
and
back
just to
then,
wrap it up,
attitude meant like you're a go getter, you got it.
I prefer no hero, no person lives without flaws. And the original cast, they try to make them like perfect kids. I'm like,
I mean, they did have flaws here and there. It's just they did
But
not really
again,
expand
it's
on
like-
it as well as they did
yeah,
in like
that's the thing.
later
But again,
seasons.
this is a children's show from the 90s, and you're
Yeah.
comparing it to like what if they were to do it now or give us a nitty gritty. I'm like, you know what? Hell, they do it all the time.
I mean, like it could be worse. Imagine if they made American Power Rangers in the 1950s. First of all, Zach would not be black.
He wasn't in this one.
No, well, but Billy was. But the point is, there wouldn't be any black kids as Rangers. I don't even know if they would even have an Asian kid as a Ranger.
Are you sure? Because again, Zordon is an alien. He's not.
He is an alien, but I'm talking about the TV studio.
He would have picked again, story wise, not the TV studio, but
no, I get it. But remember, TV did not become racially integrated until 1963.
Cool. All right, next question.
But also it's like imagine watching Grease, but it's spandex.
Yeah. Well, again, look up all those reviews. I'm pretty sure you'll find out who I was talking about, and yeah, you're gonna laugh too.
Lol, Diet Kango, you almost killed me from laughter.
You know, again, I could just be like, oh, he's not Kango.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that's the closest we can get to a actual comparison.
Yeah. Joe Nochi unmorphed, beating up several troopers. What a manly man.
That's to show you that he's leveled up. Again, Oron could take on a beat rider.
What a man, what a man, what a man, what a man, what a mighty fine man.
And Janochi has gotten to that point. So progress.
Reuse gorilla arm punchies. Yeah, those were gorilla arms from O's.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute.
I was like watching the Blu-ray. I just got the Blu-ray in the mail. Like I opened the cellophane, I put my lock seat aside, I popped it into the Blu-ray, and I'm watching it without subtitles because it doesn't have subtitles in English. I'm watching it in RAW. Somehow I managed to get most of the context right. So thank goodness for nonverbal language. And it's like, is that? It's like, Psychozo! I'm like, oh my god. But yeah. Well, that's it for the comments, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Ding the bell icon. Stay notified for our latest videos. We do Ultraman Arc on Mondays, Kamen Rider Gav on Wednesdays, Bakuaga Sentai Boom Boom Draw on Thursdays, and our last Gaim video.
The last Gaim video is next week, and we break out Wheel-kun to see what will be coming for the new year.
Yeah, and just a heads up that we will be doing a bit of a change in schedule next week for Gavu, since Wednesday will be Christmas Day. So we might do that on Tuesday, which is Christmas Eve. So Merry Christmas, everyone. This is our present to you guys. And yes, and then once we spin Wheel-kun, we'll take a quick sabbatical and be back on what's called January with that new season. Maybe we'll finally do a Showa season. Who knows?
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll totally see. And also we did upload a couple of interviews. We got Barney Duncan and Sasha Craig. We will have a few more up and running this coming week. And of course, And of course, check out our sister channel, The Buttery Show, where we just did the movie Red 1. And we're going to do several other movies, including Moana 2 and a certain other film that we're going to keep secret. But we are likely going to review that movie on Sunday, right before we do Gaim Gaiden 3, the finaling. And you could follow us at our personal channels. You can find him on City Prince.
That's going around. So thank you, everyone, for all your messages.
And you can find me on Instagram at Boken_Kabuto. And thank you guys for all of your love and support. And with all that said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to stay safe, stay hydrated, update your emergency kids, hug your loved ones. And we will see you all next time. Goodbye. Happy holidays.
See you later, guys.